Can you hurry up? Can we speed this up? I'm so anxious. Don't do that. Why are you doing that? Can I open my eyes? Can I open my eyes?
You may open your eyes. All right. Take off.
I'm good?
Yeah.
But that sucks. I probably can't do any farmers commercials anymore. It's kind of lame that I'm actually thinking about that. I'm all like, once I become a famous actor, I might want that farmer's endorsement. Like...
I think we're in it.
We starting?
We're in it.
Oh, we're in it. That's how we just jump in?
Yeah, we just jump in.
Nice. No intro, no nothing.
No intro, no nothing. I think we're just in it.
I like that.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to go for it.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the pod, man. I appreciate you being here.
Yeah, right after dinner.
I know. Right after that dinner, I had some Italian dinner. Told John, I was like, yo, can you come like a little bit later? Have one of those... salad and then the dinner, and then like, you guys want coffee? I'm like, no, no, I'm good.
Yeah, that's some grown shit right there.
Yeah.
I just did some very LA shit. I went hiking at Runyon around sunset, and then ate at Erewhon in the deli section. I know, dude. Motherfuckers are gonna really judge me. They're gonna be like, damn, you came from the battle rap world and now you're hiking at Runyon and eating at Erewhon.
Yep.
Trying to take care of myself.
And he still got bars. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
Salad bars.
That's the thing. I think the tone is changing for rappers, man. We got to get healthier. You know what I'm saying? Like, rappers are out here dying
physical and mental wellness.
They're dying of natural causes out here. That shout out to my guy Open Mike Eagle. He had an album called Rappers Dying of Natural Causes or something like that. I forget what the title was.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Dude, I saw your hat when you walked in. I don't know where you got that, but that is a thing of beauty.
EDD. Shout out EDD. Dude, I forget what it stands for. It's some employment.
It's not disability,
because I don't think it's what it says here. This is like they made up some shit. But
Employment Development Department says that.
Does it say that on
That's
there?
what it says there on there.
Oh, okay, maybe it is that.
I guess
is it that would make sense.
That probably makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, you know, out here, during the pandemic, I feel like everybody's been scamming the government.
Oh,
you know
dude.
what I mean? Like,
I was thrilled to be a part of EDD. So shout out to EDD.
I mean, it's helping a lot of people, but people are also just like taking the money to like, oh, let's spend it on all types of wild shit.
Oh, dude, I knew some comics who just like immediately, I was like, they had new shoes on. I'm like, oh, that EDD money. Like, you knew right away. Like, when you ran into them, you're like, your check just came in the mail. And they're like,
That's just some quick satisfaction kind of thing. You know, like you just feel good, like retail therapy or something.
Yeah.
But you're still fucked, you know? But
I had a buddy who, he's like, you want to go golfing? I was like, when do you go golfing? He's like, I got this unemployment money. He bought like a whole set of clubs and everything.
That's what I'm saying. It's like your life's shitty, but then you're like, look at those clubs.
A little
like,
flash.
Yeah. Or some kicks. You're like, fuck, life sucks. And you look down, you're like, at least I look fresh.
I look pretty good though. like there's hell circles of fire like spinning below. You're like, I got the new Jordans on.
That's what I'm saying. I was talking about earlier how we got slides on right now.
Yep.
And when you start wearing slides, it just ruins your relationship with sneakers, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because you're just like, you know, LA's so comfortable, like the weather's nice. Sometimes you just like hop on with your slides and you just get it going.
And it's acceptable because athletes have made it cool.
Yeah.
So it used to be like, I mean, when I was a kid, if you were wearing slides, you better had just come from a soccer game or a basketball game. That's it.
Right.
But now it's like everybody, they just wear them in public now. It's just kind of chill.
You can't wear slides in like New York.
No, why would you want
Yeah, that's
to?
what I'm saying. You're like walking around the city in slides. Are you crazy?
Dude, you're tempting fate on that.
That's why people wearing Timberland boots and shit there. They're wearing straight up construction footwear.
Yeah.
Just walking down the fucking street, you know what I mean?
Dude, you're a brave soul.
Yeah, over here it's like Crocs, Ugg boots, and slides.
Yep.
Like anywhere you go. I just treat LA like my backyard. I just throw on some slides and just walk around anywhere.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, New York, you can't do that. It's like
No.
broken glass.
it's a little bit
everywhere.
too shady. Yeah, I mean, there's some hair. We got heroin needles too out here.
That's true. That is true. We shouldn't actually be.
We got to be careful a little
That's why I
bit.
wear the socks with the slides. You know, I gotta
I
be
know.
careful.
We're not insane
Yeah,
people.
you're insane if you're rocking no socks and
If
slides.
you're going raw and slides, just raw open toes.
Fuck no, you're never going raw.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. But we were just talking, born and raised here, essentially.
But born in Argentina is a weird story. I'm not really weird. Just like my parents met there.
You go back and visit?
Nah. My grandparents on my mom's side moved there when she was 15, and they passed away. So there's like really no family there. But I should have really visited. It would have been a great thing to experience.
Yeah.
But my mom, she grew up there. She speaks Spanish and she's full Korean. And she happened to meet my dad, who was
Does that
Korean.
throw people off when she's fluent in Spanish and she's Korean?
Yeah, and it's funny. She never learned English because you're in LA and you know Spanish and Korean.
Oh, if you can get
in
by with those
Koreatown,
two,
you're good.
you're good. You're
You
set.
know, you're good. So her English is still not great. But it's whatever. We got K-Town.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
if that's where you're at, it's like...
Yeah. So, but it's crazy. Yeah, I mean, that background is really insane. But I've been in Koreatown my whole life. You know, I'm more K-Town than anything.
Yeah.
More K-Town than even Korean. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So, K-Town's great though. I mean, do you go to K-Town a lot?
Well, that was one of the first times we hung out the other night at
We got fucked up that night.
at that place.
Or I did at least. Yeah. I mean,
You were having a good time?
Yeah, I just get louder when I get drunker. It was fun because we had the show at the Laugh Factory.
That was a fun show,
That
man.
was a fun
Everybody
show.
had a good set.
Everyone did, actually. Everyone had a good set on that one. But you were riffing off of the front row homie, Russell. Shout out Russell, who is currently the Red Power Ranger on the Power Rangers.
Yes.
And that's pretty crazy.
Oh, dude, as soon as I found that out, which I don't even know who established it, but I heard it in earshot when I was watching PK's set or somebody else's set,
Yeah.
and I was like, I waited for a while. I was like, is this real? Because if this is real, I'm going in.
Exactly. I think everyone said something about him because he's in the
Yeah.
front row.
He was in the front row.
How could you resist?
In 3, 2, 1. I could have picked any elderly woman in the audience to do that. He just did one of these, like, girl.
And he's
That's
like
gold.
this chiseled dude who I'm like, oh, this dude would be the Red Power Ranger.
Yeah. I called and I was like, of course, the Gen Z Rangers. He's like a mixed guy who's black and Asian. I was like, that would be the current Red Ranger right now.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
But that was amazing. And then you were riffing off of him for like a good 10 minutes, it felt like.
Oh, yeah. I look back at at my recording on my phone and I checked. It was like 9 minutes of riffing with that guy.
Fucking hilarious.
And then I saw him. PK said that it was like a movie when we all showed up in K-Town and he and I saw each other afterwards. He said PK said that he and I looked at each other like, what's up, dude? like, and I was like, did I really do that? He goes, dude, he goes, I was dying laughing because it was like this old spaghetti Western that you guys were like, oh, I didn't think I was ever going to see you in my life again. And it was just like,
What
oh,
brings
okay,
you
well,
to these parts?
yeah. Wait, you're in Koreatown? Okay.
It's been a ritual lately, I feel like, when I do shows with PK in like, you know, West LA or whatever. And like Fahim, we chilled with Fahim in K-Town too after our show in K-Town. And we just got wasted and it just like bringing all the comics into my Koreatown world. And it's been great.
It's cool.
It's so fun.
Because I mean, the only time really, I'll go to Koreatown every once in a while, but really the only time I've eaten over there has been with Bob or Steve.
Yeah.
They've been like, you gotta try this place, or like we went to Monsu, Korean barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite spot in Koreatown? I know it's
Damn,
probably hard to.
It's hard,
or even
'cause
top like 3
there's
to
so
5.
I mean, I think like when people ask me, you can't go wrong with Parks. Like Parks is always good.
I think I ate there with Bob once.
Bobby goes there all the time.
Okay.
Steve, they go there all the time. But that place is good. All the other shit is like super hard to pronounce Korean shit that I don't tell any of my white friends and shit because they're not gonna figure it out. So I'm just like,
they're never gonna find it
go
again.
To Parks. It's just the easiest to deal with. And there's a place called Quarters, and I only recommend these places like Quarters because it's just like so easy to say.
Sure.
I don't want to do the spelling out for you, and you know, just go to Quarters or Parks.
Sending me the symbols and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a white person treasure map. Like we're going around
it's a
Koreatown.
shitty thing. I should be giving people the spots, but I just don't want to. I've always been a lazy host.
Right.
Like, because I've traveled a lot, you know, touring, and you always get that like host who takes you around in different cities.
Yep.
But when people come over here, like,
isn't that interesting how in some cities in other countries that is required by the embassy? Have you noticed that some of that?
Oh, what do you mean? Like,
so like in Australia, they force you to use a guide.
Oh,
it's literally part of their tax program. So you have to use a local as Americans if you are on tour over in Australia.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can't do the shows there. They're like, no, this is your liaison.
Right.
They're going to keep you on track. And they like, we literally, when I was over there, this nice lady, she was our liaison. She went and hopped hotel to hotel with us in every city that we went to, flew with us and everything. And it was just, that's their thing. That's part of their program.
It was always been like a promoter or something for me.
Gotcha.
Of the show. But they always do a great job, you know, taking care of you. And I feel shitty because like they'll hit me up when they come to LA. It's like, my bad, bro. I just got this thing. Like,
yeah.
I'm just the worst host. I'm not a great host.
Well, I feel like as entertainers, I mean, I think that we're so used to just being in show mode that we're like, oh, wait, we're not used to like putting it on for you. Like we're just doing the thing. We're not like the mechanics of like you should do this and then that. And like anytime families visited, like my uncle came out here from Iowa, he goes, what are all the hot spots? What do we do? I go, do you want to go to a comedy club or
right.
like I
don't know what
food?
To suggest. It's
I don't know what to do.
Do you want to take a picture in front of the pink wall on Melrose? Like,
Do you want an angel wing picture?
Exactly. But I think I'm also traumatized because I used to have like relatives visit America, like from Korea or like Argentina. And my parents would make me go with them to Universal Studios all the time. So sometimes in one year I'd go like 6-7 times on the same ride, same shit, everything. Yeah. And it would just traumatize me. I'd be on the tram, like the jaws would pop out at me. I wouldn't flinch. It was just like,
you're like in 3, 2.
yeah, exactly. Oh man, yeah. I don't know. LA's just one of those weird places to host a guest. I feel. I don't know.
Yeah. So I'm from Kansas, and I didn't grow up with the whole Disneyland thing. Did you go to Disneyland as a kid, or was it more just Universal?
I went a few times, but it's been a long time since I've been.
So my thing with Disneyland is in my opinion, if you're not drinking the Kool-Aid at a young age, then you surpass it. Where I finally went as an adult, and I was like, "This is whack." Like I just didn't like get it. And I think it's all like looped in on nostalgia and stuff like that. Like if you went there as a kid, or that it was like a good memory for you, it makes sense. It's kind of like how certain restaurants when you're a kid, the food wasn't really that good, but you have great memories attached to it. So you're like, that food is the best. And then you try to introduce a friend and they're like, dude, it's not that good.
How about all the new shit though? Don't they got like all the new, because now they own like Star Wars and Avengers.
I went on the Star Wars ride. That was pretty cool.
That was cool?
Yeah, that was cool.
Okay.
Yeah. The Star Tours, it's called Star Tours or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, I've been curious lately because they just bought up all that IP now, and that Disney World is bigger. Yeah,
they have everything.
Right.
I'm excited about this new Spider-Man movie that's coming out.
All that franchise in particular, they killed. You know, all the new Spider-Man, like the Tom Holland version and all that.
Oh,
stuff.
dude, I love how they're about to get like real wacky with it.
Yeah, like crossing over the universes of the previous Spider-Mans. Like
that's what they're hinting at, and I'm freaking stoked.
Tobey Maguire just pop out.
If he does, I mean, people
are
gonna. I think it has to happen. has to happen.
That'd be so amazing, bro.
Because I'm a huge. I mean, those still Spider-Man 2 is probably one of my favorite superhero movies ever.
I've never been mad at the Tobey Maguire.
I love that series.
Yeah, I've never. It was so goofy, and he was so goofy.
Yeah.
Like I just liked it.
It's just a different flavor of Peter Parker.
It is. It is. Yeah.
But yeah. Did you grow up loving Spider-Man and Batman and different comic books and stuff like that? Or
I grew up on comic books. Yeah. I grew up, Justice League to DC kind of, I don't know what happened with DC with trying to.
What is up with their movies?
They just cannot get it together.
Get it.
They can't
and it's
get it
so
together.
frustrating.
Everyone is just, I don't know. I really couldn't even get into the Suicide Squad, low-key.
I just watched it.
How did you feel about it? Did you like it? Or?
It was all right, but that's how I feel about most DC movies is I feel like Marvel has set the benchmark so high that they are knocking it out of the park so hard that it's hard to compete with.
Yeah.
But I will say the Dark Knight trilogy, that still
was
exists.
the one.
That still exists.
That's the one they killed.
But they can't recreate that energy.
Nah. They killed that one, though.
Yeah.
So they have at least one on the boards, but... Man, they can't get their shit together. Like, I don't know what in the world's going on because they got some dope ass characters,
Of course, dude. They literally have, like, if you think about it, kind of the more mainstream one.
The
Superman
mainstream golden,
and Batman,
the golden age
Flash,
of comics. Yeah,
all those. Yeah.
I don't know. Marvel's just they got to figure it out.
Yep.
I've seen Shang-Chi already.
Heard it was good.
Fire. Yeah, they went in. There's so much shit in that fucking movie. It's crazy. But I am curious how this like next generation of Marvel's gonna carry out because they ran through kind of all the mainstream, like the main the first string Marvel characters, you know what I mean? Now they got to integrate the bench warmers.
Start coming in.
Yeah. So, I mean, not to take away from those heroes, like, I'm sure there's a whole world, I don't know, but.
There's all these Marvel heroes that are listening to this podcast are like, oh, come on, man.
I feel shitty that I call them bench warmers.
They're heroes and they're like, oh, man. These superpowers aren't doing anything for me.
Oh, my God. Yeah. But, I mean, I know the first string of this wave is supposed to be Shang-Chi and like the Eternals. And everything looks promising. Like both of those it seems promising.
Steve and I, for Steve's birthday, David Cho, he came and we went and saw Candyman, and then we went like to Canner's afterwards. And Cho was like, I wanted to hate Shang-Chi, and then he goes, but they did it. He goes, they made it dope somehow.
Yeah. Well, David Cho said that.
Yeah.
I saw him at the premiere. I was there at the premiere, and
he said he went in with super low expectation because he was like, he's like, they're trying to like force an Asian superhero movie right now, and like, I don't know, man, it could be really cheesy.
Yeah. And then everyone was. I think all the Asians were really worried in that sense because the Asians are always worried about that because we're getting this first wave of like crazy and Asian Renaissance. So like every new Asian shit, we're like,
yo, this better be good. Like we don't want to ruin it for the next 20 years.
Yeah. So they're always on that shit. I mean, so I know what feeling he has. It was funny though. David came. I saw him at the premiere, and I didn't even get to say hi to him. I just saw him walk in, but he was dressed like slides, like no socks slides. You know what I mean? Shorts, like a sweater with graffiti on it, and I was like, oh, David like really doesn't give no fucks. But I just thought he didn't give a fuck because like artist or whatever. But my boy sat next to him, and they were talking, and apparently my boy told me that he thought it was just a screening. He didn't know it was the premiere. like he would have actually dressed up for it.
That's hilarious.
But he just thought it was like one of those free screenings.
Yeah.
It was a full-on red carpet. Like,
so did he walk the red
Asian
carpet?
Celebrity was there. I was worried about being underdressed because I don't have a lot of nice shit. So I just put together something decent.
I mean, dude, red carpets, people literally spend so much money on hiring people to make them look perfect for those events.
100%. And I saw David and I was like, fuck, I should have worn my slides. That's what I thought. That was my first thought. I was like, damn, I could have worn my slides.
That guy's so cool, man.
I thought he was cool. I was like, fuck, he really didn't give a fuck.
He's so anti-establishment.
I was like, why did I give a fuck?
And he's like, do you have your coupon for this?
Exactly. Yeah, it was really dope. It was super dope.
I'm excited to see that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, man, I feel like you and we have had friends for years, like, and been adjacent in the comedy scene for so long. Like, I literally have been seeing you on flyers and stuff for years, but this Laugh Factory show happened to be the first one that we did together, and I was like, oh, okay, finally, like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I've really been going harder with the stand-up in this past like 2 years, but like, you know, I did my first stand-up show through PK at the Laugh Factory like 5 years ago. You know, I was like, I got nerves to finally do it, and it went well. But I didn't get into the loop of like doing it regularly, you know. I just, whenever I got an opportunity, I just did it. But in the last like year and a half, 2 years, I've been trying to just go out every week. And, you know, I know you out here doing 3 shows a night and shit. And I'm just trying to get into that community and that shit. But yeah, we crossed a lot of the same paths. Like, even with Steebee, like, I've known Steebee since I was young.
How did you guys meet originally?
In the LA rap scene.
Oh, that's right.
I met him before I even knew he was like Bobby's brother or nothing. Like, we were just doing shows together. And then like,
was this when he was doing Mongchi stuff, or
no? This was
that?
way before
that.
This was literally, I'll say 2005, 2006.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Like I was right out of high school doing rap shows and battles, and he was in the underground rap scene too. So he was in that scene. And we would do shows together. One day, someone's just like, "Oh, you know, that's Bobby's little brother." I'm like, "What?" And, like, after knowing him for a while, you know, and they mentioned it, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I didn't meet Bobby for like a while after, but I've known Steebee early on. Like,
that's dope.
It was so random.
We have this ongoing joke now that's become its own kind of monster that. On all of Bob's posts now, people are commenting like, "Oh, hey, are you Steve's brother?"
Yeah.
Like, we flipped the script on it because he's been obviously called Bob's brother for like 20 plus years since Bobby's been on Mad TV and all that stuff. So we did a thing on Scissor Bros where we were like, let's flip it.
I like that. I've been seeing the comments too.
Dude,
I was like, okay, I like this little trolling
for it.
Yeah, I like this little trolling situation. But yeah, it's been cool kind of seeing. I mean, I just did Steve's podcast recently, and it was like, we're reminiscing on those days, man. It was like MySpace. We're promoting our shows on MySpace and things like that. So
do you remember your friend count and stuff on MySpace back in the day?
It wasn't that popping, to be honest. Like, my music career didn't like blow up off of MySpace, because I remember some of those musicians, like, they're like the big MySpace guys. There's like Mickey Avalon and like,
dude,
Dirt Nasty and
My Dick.
Yeah, that shit was like a
blew up.
MySpace. I think he was actually signed to MySpace Records or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had like a record label or something. But yeah, I wasn't one of those guys. I didn't have like, you know, damn, I can't even remember what my friend count was, but. I did promote my shows on there, and I remember I felt good like adding so many shows on that list. Like, it felt good being like
you feel like a real performer, like a real entertainer. Like, I'm doing stuff. Like, I'm, you know, manually entering like another one.
That's how I would get shows, actually. So I would go on other rappers' MySpace pages, and I'd see their shows, click on it, see who was promoting it, and I would ask them if I could open up. So that's how I would just get mad shows. And also, we would have physical flyers too. So every time I'd be on a flyer, the promoter would link up with me, and they'd give me a stack of flyers. So if you had like 4 shows in 1 month, you just have all these flyers, and it just felt good being like passing out 4 flyers to somebody, being like, I'm on all 4 of these things. You know? So it was cool.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of like barking and stuff for stand-up shows, and it was always so rough because it's something that people, you can tell right away when you're handing someone a flyer, like either this person's interested or you'd see them throw it in the trash can like right in front of you. Like,
Of course.
Yeah, that builds up your skin real quick though.
Yeah. I mean, do you remember like back in the day, just you'd come out of a club or something, and there would be like a row of people passing you flyers for shit. Like festivals and everything. Like I mean, just talking about it right now, I just realized, damn, that was really a thing that does not exist anymore.
Yeah, I don't even know, because I haven't been to Vegas since the pandemic. Like, you know, those guys like with the cards and stuff like that, are they still out there now?
No, like
Probably not, right?
They might be passing out like a quick flyer to a strip club or something, like right then and there, like go there right now.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like,
I don't think
check out
like,
this festival 2 months from now. Who the fuck is gonna like put that in their pocket and thumbtack it to their fucking wall? You know?
Yeah. Got nothing on the calendar except this one thing that I'm looking forward to.
I was always into kind of getting those flyers because I was a big scrapbooker kind of guy. I know that sounds so weird coming from a rapper. Like I scrapbook, but like all my first like a couple hundred rap shows, I had the flyers. I put them in like a book.
But I mean, that's pretty dope for you to look back on now.
I love that I did that.
You know what I mean?
I love that I did that. Yeah.
As nerdy as somebody might say, like, oh, you scrapbook, it's like, dude, you have like the documentation. You have like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I wish I had some of the lineups of some of the early shows that I went on, like at the Comedy Store and the Improv and stuff like that, because I have some friends who saved some open mic lists, and it's amazing to see.
That's dope.
Who was signing up at the same time, and then who you see on billboards and movies, and like it's incredible. Like that, it like gives you hope at the same time because you're like, everybody was in the same class here. Everybody just needs to keep working.
That's really dope. I did that a few times too. I saved the open mic list at this rap spot I used to go to, and I have a few of those, and that's always a cool thing. I actually wish I did more of those because there were so many artists that signed that shit that would have been a cool collectible kind of thing.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
How did you get the confidence to start battle rapping?
That's a good question.
Because like I feel like it's, you know, either a learned behavior of like a very specific learned behavior from media and different things, or like did your parents instill a lot of confidence in you like as a kid?
I had a lot of confidence like comedically. I think growing up just in my classroom, I was always a class clown.
Yeah. But
the confidence of when you're at a rap open mic and not even on stage but on the street, like ciphers and freestyling, and that environment is like way more aggressive than like a sign up sheet. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
you can like sign up on an open mic list, go up to perform, and you just wait your turn. But on the block where you have a circle, a cipher of like 12 rappers, and everyone's just trying to get their voice in real quick, and you're just trying to like double dutch your way in.
Yeah.
It's hard, you know, because everyone's so aggressively like bold, you know. So for me, it was always like that took a while where I would be freestyling. I'd wait my turn. I try to like just interrupt to get in. And then all of a sudden, when you go in and another person goes in at the same time, we're rapping over each other. And then it turns into a battle, you know, like because no one's backing down, like, you know, of like like no one stops rapping. Right. So we're rapping over each other. And next thing you know, like, the raps turn into a diss. It's like, yo, shut the fuck up. Let me get my bars out. Like, and then they start saying that. And then all of a sudden there might be a joke they say, like some Asian shit or whatever. And then my blood just starts getting boiled. Like I started boiling a little bit and it just comes out. And then that's how the battle part started. It was more like of a defense mechanism at first. Because I was never really the aggressor in battles. Like I wasn't the one calling somebody out.
It was almost like just that retaliation.
I had to. I was like, I had to retaliate because it was the same old shit all the time. I mean, you know, if I'm one of the few Asian guys out there, it's always the same old joke. So I think that's how it started for me. Mm-hmm. It was a retaliation thing. And then when people reacted to it with like oohs and ahs, like you got high off of that. And
of course.
You just kept doing it.
Especially if they're like, oh, this Asian guy just got you, you know, especially if they're throwing hacky stuff at you or whatever.
It felt really good kind of coming back on that. But also on the other end of that, I've gotten hit too from people where they're getting crazy reaction too, like getting killed. You know, it's all part of the game, but that feels shitty too.
Are there any bars that like still have stuck with you that you're like, that person got me good?
Yeah, there's tons. I mean, I can appreciate good Asian jokes, like especially in the rhyme form, because it's not like, you know, because there's been a lot of Asians that defend me under the YouTube comments of battles I've been in, being like, man, they only used Asian jokes. I'm like, I battled an Asian guy and I used only Asian jokes too, you know? Right. So to me, I have no problem with that. It's like in a battle, there's no rules. You fucking do whatever it takes. Like long as you get the reaction. And when you say, even you could say a hacky Asian joke, but in a creative like, you know, we all know the stereotypes of like, oh, Asians driving bad and all that stuff. But if you do it in a very hilarious, witty way, then it works. And also if it's spontaneous. Like I was one time, we were battling outdoors, and there was like a daycare center for dogs outside.
Okay.
And we were all, these were all freestyle battles. These weren't like prepared. And this dude I was battling, Thesaurus, he's a friend of mine too. He literally pointed at the spot and was like, you see that doggy daycare? You probably ate there. And it was just like a perfect like rhyme scheme and everything. So, you know, and that's the thing. Like when things are in rap form and rhymes, the rhythm of it hits so perfectly because it rhymes so perfectly that there's a different effect, you know, than the joke itself. It's like, and I've just heard good jokes like that and just dumb shit, you know, like that's a dog eating joke. That's like, could be considered very hacky nowadays or whatnot, but it's the spontaneity.
Sure.
And it's literally, he
Off the top,
pointed and it's right there.
He just
you know?
created out of nothing.
So everyone who's there is like, what the fuck?
It's the same thing with crowd work at a stand-up show. When people see that, it's going to get bigger pops than anything that you spent time preparing because they know that you just created that right in front of them.
That's why things don't age well, I think, when you rewatch things on video. You know, because there's an element of live performance that you miss just the context of the energy and not even the content itself.
Yeah.
The context of the energy that's there when you're feeling those jokes or whatnot. You know what I mean? So there's a whole element there that I think people don't understand. And that's why like people like, oh, they'll rewatch something like that's not funny. Or like, you have to be there. You know what I mean? You have to been there.
Yeah. Especially sometimes when it's improvised, especially too, like you're saying, it's so specific to the energy that night. Like, everybody was in sync, because that's the thing that like with like comedy and music, once everybody gets on that same wavelength, then it becomes this higher thing where it's like, whoa, I can't believe that just happened. And that's when like people's minds are like being blown and stuff like that.
Exactly. I mean, I always feel like that's the one thing about freestyle sessions. Like I remember being in so many open mics where I've heard some legendary freestyle sessions, and I've been in some where I was feeling it and I was going in, zoning out. I'll rewatch it. I'm like, oh, that was actually not that tight. I feel like, I thought I killed it way harder than that.
That's a C. That's a strong B.
Yeah. Like I'm just like, I'll replay it for the homie. Like, you got to watch this night. I was on. We're like, oh damn, wait, never mind. That was bad.
I was checking out some of your music videos and stuff, and I really like. I don't know how many different directors that you work with, but I like the direction on a lot of your music videos.
Thank you.
I don't know how involved you are.
Oh yeah, I'm always co-directing every music video. I think
it's awesome.
Thank you, man. I think every independent artist pretty much co-directs all their shit. They kind of have to have, you know, your voice in it.
Sure.
And especially if you're working with budgets and people doing things for free, you have to really kind of drive the creative vision on that.
Yeah, I like a lot of the color schemes and stuff that you put together, and a lot of those videos. It's cool.
Thank you, man. I really wanted, I think I've always liked being colorful in a lot of shit. Like your most recent video is colorful like that. It's bright.
Yeah, super colorful.
Yeah, just because, you know, a lot of rap videos and even stuff that I did when I back in the day, it was like so dreadful.
Oh yeah.
You know, it was like everything was just, I'm wearing a black hoodie all the time. That's it. Like I wanted it, like in the last couple of years, I really wanted to just be like, yo, I want to get colorful. You know what I'm saying? So that's all it's been. It's just like, I mean, that's part of why I like making songs. It's the visual part of it too. I like making music videos for it. Yeah,
well, it gives you the full scope. It's like, okay, this is what, you know, I'm coming to life from the perspective of when I wrote it, not just on like, you know, black ink on white paper. Now I'm going to bring it full circle, color. This is what I imagine inside my head. Now you get to see that too. Yeah. Outside of your imagination of if you're just listening on Spotify or whatever. For sure.
And I've always wanted to direct. So to me, this is like a way to do it where instead of having a script, you have the 3-minute song or 4-minute, whatever.
Yeah, you can tell a lot of the story in that 3 minutes.
That's like your script, you know? So you already have something to go off of, you know? But eventually I'd like to go into actually writing a full-on movie or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
How often would you say you still freestyle? Like how often do you still do that?
Honestly, I've slowed down a lot. like I was a freestyle addict. Like anyone will tell you, anyone who followed my career is like, they know that was my thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in like, I was at house parties, open mics, YouTube videos, hanging out with friends. And, you know, I'd go to parties with like surrounded by mad hot girls, start freestyling. They'd be impressed for like a good 30 minutes, but I'd go on for 3 hours. And all of a sudden I lift my head up and every girl is gone. It's just me and my boy freestyling. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, like, and I've made pacts sometimes with homies like, yo, when we go to this party, like, no freestyling.
Don't let me freestyle.
Yeah, don't let me freestyle. Let's hang out with some cool girls. Like,
3 days later, you have a beard. All of a sudden, you're still spinning.
Yeah, I'm like Forrest Gump. Like, I'm gonna stop freestyling. But I've slowed down a lot. I think just because I'm going to less situations where I freestyle. Like if I wanted to keep freestyling, I'd have to just be at home alone freestyling. You know, I don't even hang out with a lot of friends on a regular basis. Like I feel like when you're younger, you do that a lot, right? Like you have your homies all the time.
You're in way more parking lots when you're younger and stuff like that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's what we literally used to do. Like in Kansas, before I even knew what it was, we would riff for hours.
Yeah.
Just trying to make each other laugh in circles, or like skateboarding parking lots, and in between skating, we literally just be telling each other dumb stuff, or like somebody has a guitar and we're trying to just riff lines off of that and stuff.
That's the thing. So if you want to keep exercising that freestyle improvisation, muscle, you have to be in environments, with people chilling.
Of course,
you know, and the less you chill, the less opportunities you have to do that, right? So it's like sometimes I want to freestyle and I'm just like, it's not the same just being at the crib, putting on a beat and just like freestyle. Let me like it's your yoga stretches or something. Let me freestyle for a bit.
Let me just freestyle alone real quick.
Yeah, it's not the same energy, but man, I know some freestyle legends in Los Angeles who still freestyle, and they're in their like mid 40s to almost 50 years old, and they're amazing.
What was the first like song or music video you did where you felt like, you know, that sensation like times 10, I guess, of that MySpace feeling, you know, of like, oh, like I'm a rapper, I'm doing shows and stuff. Did you release something, or what was the thing where you started feeling like, this is me? Like, did you win a freestyle? Like did you win a battle or something? Like,
what was the first time that
you had that sensation of like that, of like, I'm like, I've arrived, kind of like I'm feeling like I'm a legit rapper and stuff like that?
I think it's the first time that like people come up to you or something. Okay. You know, like randomly, like, I saw you in this video.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of that was the battle stuff. You know, people really got drawn into my battles, and seeing the numbers growing, and like all of a sudden these videos getting 1 million views or whatnot. Like,
and now a lot of them are like crazy.
Yeah, and that's when I felt like, oh shit. And I think it's always just when you start feeling like you have a fan base. Because I always tell people, like, just no matter what number of fans you have, it could be a little or a lot, just having fans is a blessing.
Sure.
Like, so many artists don't even get the opportunity to have a few fans. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you have fans that buy your merch or support you, like, you got to be grateful for that no matter what. Most people don't even get that chance, you know?
Yep. That's the only way to look at it. It really is.
No, for sure. Like, it's a blessing, bro. And that's why I you know, my career has always been up and down. It's never been like super steady or nothing, but I've always appreciated the fans that rode with me for this long, you know?
Oh, dude, anytime I get to just go out on the road to do shows, even if it's a weekend of maybe, you know, not good paying gigs or whatever, I'm like, I'm still doing the thing that so many other comics are just trying to get to, that point of just going on the road to be able to perform for people in different cities. So I'm always grateful. I'm like, okay, this gig might not be the best, but I'm still doing the thing that I set out to do, that I've been wanting to do like this whole time. So yeah, I always feel super grateful, even like if it's a little city where where I'm like, the turnout might not be good or whatever. And then like some of those are the best shows ever because those people are the most appreciative.
That's all you got to see it as, you know what I'm saying? You got to be grateful for it's like, what, you're going to put on a shittier show because there's like, what, 20 people in the crowd?
I've never understood that mentality.
That's so stupid. Like, how then the 20 people who bought tickets get asked out, you know?
Dude, I always go, if anything, I go extra hard for those people.
Exactly, dude. If anything, they might just end up getting a free T-shirt or some shit.
Right. Like, thank you for being here.
Exactly,
like, you're
bro.
some of the few people that are
I never
supporting
understood that
me.
mentality too. It's just
dude,
baffling.
it pisses me off so much anytime I'm on a lineup and then, you know, it's towards the end of the night or whatever and somebody just pisses away their set because they're there's not many people here. I'm like, these are the people who are here for you, dude.
Exactly.
These are the ones who stuck it out. Give them the show that they deserve.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm always like adamant about like, I'm gonna give you guys a show tonight.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
I want to get into this next segment. It's called Fanning Out.
Fanning out. Questions from fans.
This one comes from my buddy Gage T. Arena. He helps me produce this podcast. He never asked questions of the guests, and he was stoked that you were coming on.
Okay.
He wants to know your top 3 unknown artists that you'd recommend and a genre or an artist that you're inspired by that might surprise people.
Ooh, that's good. 3 unknown artists?
Yeah. Can also be 1 or 2 if that's too hard.
I feel it's like insulting to like name artists that you think are unknown.
Also, unknown can be, you know, that's a gently unknown. You know, it doesn't have to be, it's more like who you think should be super, super mainstream. Let's put it in a more positive light. Like you think that they should be a household name, but they're not quite a household name yet, but they're on the come up.
Let's see, who do I like? Duckworth is really dope. Toby Wigway, he's pretty big though at this point. Shout out to my boy Satire. I'll give him some love. You know, I'm not just because he's my friend, but he's putting out some dope shit. Yeah, those are some ones you guys can check out.
Okay, perfect. Heck yeah. Is there an artist or a genre that might surprise you that you're inspired by? That people
Like
might be
bedroom
surprised?
pop?
Yeah, bedroom pop?
Yeah. I just like the simplicity of it. And it's just like pleasant. And there's like just honest like lyrics and shit, you know?
Yeah.
So I like it. I like that kind of movement of like kids just making simple beats at the crib or something.
Sure.
And you know, so I like bedroom pop.
Okay. Dope. This one comes from
And when I write comedy or like any kind of non-rap related stuff, I just listen to jazz.
do you ever, this was something that I was just curious, when you got brought to the stage at Laugh Factory, do you ever feel like, since you have rapped for so long and you're a stand-up comedian as well, when the host mentions that you are a great rapper, do you ever feel any kind of pressure like that you need to rap, or do you have comedy raps that you ever do on stage, or do you keep them completely separate?
I keep it pretty separate. Like I never got into doing comedy raps, and nothing against people who do it. Like there's people who kill that too. Yeah, it's never been my thing. I mean, if anything, I've implemented comedy into battle rap, you know, and I've done that. But nah, like there's humorous things inside my raps. I wouldn't consider it comedy rap. It was it'd be more like an honest kind of moment in rap, you know, where it's like I'm more like kind of just, you know, talking about aging or whatever, or things like that, just more honest moments. But yeah, no, I don't, you know, and that's why it's tough for me, I think, as I get older, or not just me, but any rapper who gets a little bit older, to maintain that same rap energy you had when you were young, because rap comes with that. It comes with that youthful energy, you know. And for me, it's been tough because all my like favorite rappers that are out right now are like young dudes, you know, and I'm just like, I'm not the same cat. Like, so it's like, would I listen to myself when I was that age? And the answer is probably not, you know?
Interesting.
So it's a really conflicting feeling, I think, aging as a rapper. And that doesn't stop me from making music.
Yeah.
But it is a conflicting thing where like, yeah, like I don't make the music of the shit that I listen to, like my favorite rap shit, you know, like it's not the same style of stuff, you know?
Well, what's stopping you from doing that though?
I just can't do it because it wouldn't be authentic. You know,
You feel like it's too forced.
it would be forced for sure.
Like you're trying
like
to-
I would be doing their style. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
I feel like, and people do, like people, you know, like there's trends and stuff of patterns and everything, you know?
Oh yeah, you see it all the time. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. And I think when I try to do it, like I can feel like it's not authentic.
Okay.
So because I've tried it, like I like experimenting, but to feel comfortable, like I'm going to put this out, like, no, that's a different story.
Okay.
And I think, yeah, it's just like, I think everyone's different. For me, it's a little bit of a conflict. And you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, how do I be an older rapper who is going into his like later 30s?
A more refined version
A refined version of it.
a past version of
Because
yourself.
you have like, say like a Jay-Z, right? And he does like more grown raps now because he's like a mogul who's like in his mid 40s, you know? And
Yeah, you can't. I mean, it doesn't make sense for Jay-Z to be talking about chasing paper in the same way because he has the paper.
But here's the thing though, I think it's easier for him as an old rapper because he's incredibly rich as a mogul. Because people are always gonna fuck with raps about like being hella successful.
Yeah.
So, but it's harder, I feel like, when you're like an older dude with like, maybe those aren't your interests, you know?
Yeah.
You know, it's like fiscal responsibility and you're like, it's like responsible raps, you
Sure.
know? So it's like, I'm trying to balance like, how do I talk about things like as I get older, but still like maintain like a relevancy all around in all age gaps too, you know? So I think for me has been like, I want to implement the music into these other things that I'm doing too.
Yeah.
With TV shows and film, you know, not the same exact thing that like Lin-Manuel did with Hamilton, but like in that way, like do something
Would you
interesting.
want to do something like direct a movie and then you're also a big part of the soundtrack?
Yeah, like I would love to
Yeah.
do soundtrack, scoring stuff, and even like musical shit, you know? And I think it's about that. Like, how do I figure out like this new interest of things that I'm trying to do and also bring the experience of like coming from a world of like battles and making songs,
Yeah.
you know? So that's kind of like, yeah, what I'm working on right now is just like figuring that out. And that's why I'm at with my life, you know? And, you know, for anybody watching that, like, I think there's a lot of people who go through that, like, especially in this generation where it's so youth driven. Like every industry is like, you have like a 13-year-old kid making millions of dollars off of unboxing videos on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, he turns 21. He's like, I'm washed up. You know, it's like, he's like snorting lines of coke off of his
Yeah.
toy boxes and stuff. No, but it's just like, I think a lot of young people are going to go through that. I think in this generation we live in, you know, like they're roasting anybody who's like turning 30, you know, like, it's just like, how are you going to deal with that when you turn 30?
Sure.
Like that kid who's roasting the guy who's turning 30, you know? So I think people, if you want to have if you want to be mentally prepared, like you got to be okay with becoming older, you know, you got to be okay with letting go of certain things, you know? And that took me a while because I was a big kid, you know, like, and that this lifestyle kind of makes you a big kid a lot of times, you know, like you just become immersed. Like imagine you're touring since you're a teenager.
Yeah.
You know,
that's
like,
all you know?
Yeah. Like I got my nickname Dumbfoundead when I was 14. And a lot of people were like, that's a stupid ass nickname because I'm 35 now and introducing myself as that, it feels sometimes weird. But also, like, I've accepted it because there was some ridiculous nicknames too, like of rappers that we've adapted into regular language.
Yeah.
Right? Like Ludacris. It's like,
Yeah, of course.
Fabulous. Like, and they're dope rappers.
Yeah.
That like, now it's like everyone just says it like regularly. You know what I mean?
Of course.
But I had a little bit of an identity crisis with that.
So have you ever thought about like, or did you ever try to go by your actual name at different
I
points?
actually tried to change my name like 5 years ago and it didn't. My fans were like, not having it.
Yeah,
I tried
yeah.
to change it to Parker.
Interesting.
It was like, so my last name is Park,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to like fuck with it and just have like a one name, like share like kind of one name kind of thing off of that. So I don't know where this idea came from. So I was like, I'm gonna be Parker, and it's simple, you know. And I printed all this merch, stickers, went on a tour as Parker. My fans was just like, nah with it. Like,
Wow.
I have like a warehouse like with 16 boxes of Parker merch that never went anywhere. It's just like, so
Now those are rare collector's items now.
yeah. So I think when I see when I tried that, it just didn't happen, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I gotta embrace this. This is who I am at this point.
Sure.
You know, I'm dumbfounded. I've been dumbfounded for 20 years, no pun intended, but I've been that, and I'm just gonna rock with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a interesting point in my life, that transition, but it's liberating because it's brought me back to really just kind of making music for like not being in the cycle of just like, I don't have to work it as my thing. I still make music for fun, and like I love that. You know, that was a real honest moment right there.
That's good though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I was looking for.
Had to do it.
Hey, here's the thing. That's what's great about this podcast is like, I told you before we started, I go, there's no expectations, and where it goes, it goes. I'm going through stuff right now where I'm literally on stage talking about having a son for the first time, and I'm like literally I'm working out that out on stage.
Right, yeah.
And that's like a whole new, that's a new chapter of like versus like, dude, the material that I was doing 10 or 12 years ago, it couldn't be farther apart from this stuff that I'm trying to work into my voice and stuff like that. And it's a cool, like, rewarding thing, because some of the jokes they hit sometimes, and other times I'm like, it's not ready yet. It's not quite in my voice yet. So I'm like constantly trying to tinker with it and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you're tinkering with just being a father right now because it's so new.
Literally identity.
Yeah. So even like all the shit you're talking about is you experimenting with being a father. Like it's like, I'm trying this father thing out. It's
Let me try to joke about it as well.
Yeah. I think it's cool though. I feel like that's why I felt like adding this new thing of stand-up, of expressing myself, was great, because and people always talk about that, right? It's like, you don't become a great stand-up until you're older, and that's not true. But I feel like you do have more experiences at least to talk about, and you have more things to share. Like, and I think that's why people say that. You just have more life that you can talk about. Yeah,
the more life you have, the more opportunities you're going to have to connect with people on different levels and stuff like that. They can relate to you.
And that's why I think, going back to rap, it's like you can do it right, because when you have more life, you have to talk about it. The problem is you have to make it also fun. Mm-hmm. Because to me, I'll be real, like, I like fun rap music. Yeah. And that's why I got into rap shit. Like, everything I was listening to was fun. I mean, there was like conscious shit too I like too, but you got to find that balance of fun. It's like no one wants to hear no preachy shit.
Nobody wants to be lectured.
Yeah, nobody, dude. No. Like, especially through music. Yeah, music's supposed to
it's supposed to be an escape.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's how I feel.
Yeah. I got a buddy who he's actually a battle rapper who does a lot of King of the Dot.
Who?
A-Ward.
Oh yeah. I know of him. We don't know each other.
Yeah, he said that I think he saw you like at a show like back in like a long time ago.
Yeah, I might have met him like in the circles back in the day or something.
He said he saw you, like, he met you once back in like at the Granada when you did a show with Watsky.
Yeah, I was on tour, I think. Was it in Toronto or? Is he from Toronto or?
No, he's Kansas City.
Kansas City. Yeah. Granada. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
He, because I texted him, I go, hey, I'm having Dumbfoundead on. Like, is there any questions as a battle rapper that you would want to ask him? And he goes, okay. He said, if you were to ever come back to battle rap, who would you battle?
That's tough, because I've been keeping up here and there. Yeah, but I don't know.
But you're not following who the current guys are.
Yeah, like I haven't followed like everybody. There's so many now. It's like there's a crazy amount of leagues and shit. But damn, there's some people that I wish I had battled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I wish I battled more of the URL guys a little bit, because I just wanted to see how I would do in that arena, you know?
Sure.
Because it's a different style of stuff, you know? And those guys are amazing. The Loaded Luxes, the Hollow to Dawn. I look up to a lot of those guys, and I would have actually liked to have battled one of them just to see how I would have done it in that style of shit that's a little bit more aggressive and hard. Like, instead of just jokes, it's like you come at them like really crafting like double, triple entendres and shit. Like, you know, and I would have really liked to kind of challenge myself in that way. Because I really respect battle rap. I respect battle rap, and I respect battle rappers. Like, I really look at it as a whole nother thing away from just making songs and rappers in the industry of making music. You know, this is a whole nother thing. I know battle rappers that don't even like making music. Like, their shit is just battling.
They just want to battle.
And it's okay. Like, people don't get that. People think like you're like doing this for a record label deal or something. It's like, no, people like to just do that too.
Yeah.
It's like some stand-ups just want to do stand-up. They don't want to go on a TV show
no,
or
they
a
just want to tour.
sitcom. Yeah, they don't want to, you know, so and you got to respect that. I respect someone who's just like, this is the thing that I do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Brian Regan, Jim Gaffigan.
Right.
Even Sebastian Maniscalco, they just want to do stand up.
Right.
Like, that's like,
Right.
you know, they want to tour, and they're at the top.
And
they're
they
doing
have it figured out.
Yeah.
You know, every new special, they know what to do, fill up the arenas and shit.
Yep. He said, how did battle rap shape your comedy career? Because you were on an MTV joke show for a while.
I mean, roasting is like, I love roasting,
Yeah.
you know, with friends, and also in a more serious, what he's talking about was I was on this All Def Digital thing with like a bunch of comedians. And these guys are like good roasters, you know?
Oh, was it the Roast Me guys on All Def Digital?
Yeah, Roast Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've been on a few episodes of Roast Me, and I was a big fan of that show, and I just hit up my boy who worked at All Def, and I was like, yo, could I just get on this?
Oh, that's funny.
And I just started going like every week. I was like, I don't care. I don't need to get paid. Let me just go. I just want to be there. So I started going, and I had jokes, but the thing about these dudes, they're like fast.
They're real fast.
That's the thing. They're everybody thinks they're like funny. Like, you see the comments, they're like, oh, I want to go on this. I could kill these fools or whatever. It's like, that's not just it. Like, you can get some jokes off, but these dudes are fast and good. You know what I mean? So I really respected that. Like, I knew my jokes were good, but I was not as fast as them. So
their recovery rate is crazy.
Crazy, bro.
Oh, you hit me with this?
Crazy,
Yeah.
crazy. So you got to be ready for that. I've seen internet dudes who thought they were funny and internet comedians go on that show and get destroyed, bro.
I've noticed the first time I went out to New York and people were like roasting each other back and forth.
Yeah.
I got eaten alive because I was like, oh, New York comedians are like this with their jokes.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
Oh,
crazy.
really? Damn. Okay.
Yeah, just like the way, because they're so punchline driven with their delivery.
Got you.
That the way that they roast, they'll do 3 quick one-liners to one LA version where it's just like a longer, like, here's the payoff at the end of this long thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they're like, ga.
I'll tell you one thing though, battle rappers, like, a lot of them can't roast in real life.
Yeah.
Like, they can create punchlines and kill you in battles, but a lot of them, I'd be chilling. Like, I go to a battle rap event, and we'd just be chilling all together, grabbing a drink or eating, and I'm just like roasting, thinking like everyone's gonna hop in. Like, people, they're quiet, like they don't know how to roast. Like, you know what I mean? They're good at writing it, I think, but just amongst friends riffing, like, not a lot of them are not that great at roasting.
That happens. I mean, it's a specific thing.
True. I mean, I'm sure it happens in stand up too.
Dude, I know people who are some of the best joke writers like on stage, but you take them outside of that comfort zone and it's a night and day difference.
Yep.
Like, you put them in a writer's room, they freeze up. And I'm like, dude, you're brilliant. You're brilliant on stage, though.
It's a different thing.
It's a different thing.
Yeah, it's a complete different thing. Yeah, man. I just, and I know that even for myself, like, as I'm jumping into these different worlds, whether it's like writing rooms, you know, writing show stuff and comedy, like writing down comedy or doing stand up and everything. Like, I come in so humbly to these different new things that I'm exploring. And I've always been like that. I come in humbly because I know how long it takes, you know, on even a musical level to perfect your craft.
Yep.
You know, start making songs and keep making them better and better. I'm still on that journey. You know, like I got into making music a lot late because I was into freestyling and battle rap for a long time. You know, so that was like that's something I take to all this, knowing that this shit takes a fucking long time.
Yep. Just respecting it. It's like, I've been there, but in a completely different field.
Yeah, I mean, dude, honestly, most of the time when I get on a comedy show, I never tell them to bill me as Dumbfoundead. I tell him to build me as John Park, but
Sure.
PK built me as Dumbfoundead. I don't know why he did that, but just because I wanted to kind of work on it more before I start like really promoting stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah. Then that way also it doesn't get muddy too. Like if that way people aren't showing up thinking that they might see Dumbfoundead rap
exactly
at the comedy show.
It's like, boo, rap for us.
Yeah. Then it's like, yeah. I feel you.
Yeah.
Let's close it out with this segment that I call Sax Talk. Oh, Sax Talk.
All right. So this was about 15 years ago when I was like rapping on the side. I still had a job because I wasn't able to fully support myself as a rapper. So I worked at Farmers Insurance. And I happened to work at Farmers Insurance with an ex-girlfriend of mine. And we were together at the time, but we both worked as customer service representatives at this office, local branch office. And there was only like 2 other employees that were like above us. And it was her. She was the broker. And then we're there one day, and then the broker leaves the office for the day. And it's just me and my ex-girlfriend there. So we're just like, yo, let's have sex. Cause you know, we're just like horny couple in this office space. I locked the door and it gets real freaky. Like we're just there, and she like, my girl like tapes my arms with like fucking masking tape on the office chair, and then she like just pulls my pants down and what goes down on me, and like, and we just have sex there, and this goes on for however long. I'm pretty sure it wasn't that long. But we're literally having sex like in the office on the boss's chair, and then just afterwards clean ourselves up, open the door, and then the boss comes back like 2-3 hours later and act like nothing happened. I don't know if that was sexy, but shut. Bum 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 bum. We are farmers. I probably shouldn't even set the insurance company's name, but yeah, that's what it is. Damn it.
Oh man, John got his dick wet at Geico.
At least it was farmers. Yeah. Geico it feels a little bit more low class. I don't know.
Maybe because they have a mascot.
Yeah. I fucked the gecko.
Yeah. It got real weird.
But yeah, and it wasn't like full on. It was a local branch. It's fine.
Yeah, dude.
It wasn't like at the headquarters.
It's not like you're still working there.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't at the headquarters. Yeah.
Wait, why would it be more problematic if it was at the headquarters?
I don't know.
You don't work at either one.
Because you could open up a local branch anywhere, it feels like, you know.
I guess so. So more discreet is what you're saying.
Yeah. I don't know if they could ban me from their insurance for that or something.
Nah, you good?
I'm good?
Yeah.
But that sucks. I probably can't do any farmers commercials anymore. Kind of lame that I'm actually thinking about that. I'm all like, damn, like, did I fuck up my farmer's endorsement? Because a lot of actors and stuff go on that shit. And, you know, that guy from Whiplash.
Right.
You know, he got paid probably.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons or Miles Teller?
I'm literally thinking like, damn, once I become a famous actor, I might want that farmer's endorsement. Like, that's so stupid that I'm actually worried about that.
I'm like, bro, you don't work there anymore. You're like, no, dude, there's a deal that could be falling into place at any moment, at any time, dude.
That's what I'm saying. It's like this invisible fantasy deal.
Yeah.
That I'm dreaming about right now. Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's why I'll never disparagingly talk about Taco Bell, because you never know. This player over here wants to get in a Taco Bell commercial.
Yeah, if I ever have any potential farmers deal on the works, you're gonna have to delete this pod.
Okay.
Is that a deal?
Deal.
Okay. That's the one thing I'm worried about.
I'll clip out the Sax Talk.
Yeah, exactly. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Yeah, that's it, right?
Yeah, man. Is there anything you want to plug or anything?
No, man. I think just follow me on my IG and my socials to see like what I'm up to next, as I'm kind of starting this new chapter of some projects in my life.
It's cool. I'm kind of happy that I caught you at this kind of like cool transitionary phase where you're wanting to get into more directing and stuff like that. That's kind of cool. That I don't know. Like I love when I get to see artists spread their wings in different ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're doing more stand up, you're doing more directing, and you're talking about like making music in different ways. And it's just it's an exciting new chapter, man.
I just really respect all these different crafts when I get into them, and I feel like even with rap, like sometimes that respect comes from playing a different role in the culture. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's always a hard thing to admit for certain people. But I'm learning to kind of figure that out. Like, where do I fit it into culture?
Yeah, it's exciting. Exciting to be like, oh, I can fit into multiple things.
Yeah, fit into multiple things, and even in hip hop, like how do I play a different role that might push the culture forward?
Next step
that I can help push the culture forward. It might not be you even just rapping. It might be a different thing. Like helping cultivate a new artist.
Could be more of a Dre producer role, whatever, like finding that next
whatever. Yeah. So it's just all that. You'll still hear me on verses and stuff. It's not like I'm gonna stop doing that. But
always.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for doing the pod, brother.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you.